Hi guys, welcome! You're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we are doing a road opener oil. So, get your notebook and join me and make sure that when you do it yourself, you revise it a little bit, as we all should, as I have done. So, Jen the Taxidermy Witch making a road opener oil. Let's see what we've got going. Also, I'm listening to some space rock that I found a mix of on YouTube. It's really great. And I really like to listen to music when I'm doing an actual spell, so I appreciate you guys being here with me and listening to music with me. First thing I like to do is light a candle. I have my working altar candle back here, but I've really got some energy going into that for some other things, so I want to light candles here on my desk. Now you could burn a white one and a black one for some purity and a lot of people like to burn a black candle when they do spell work. I don't have a lot of black candles, so I just burn my working this is my second working altar because it's my YouTube altar, right? So, got those lit with a match. I have tweezers, you'll find out what those are for. I feel like I should tell you all the ingredients first, and then we'll make it together, because that will be really easy for you guys to know what's all in this. And remember, you don't have to have everything. You do not have to have everything. If you want to message me and say, I don't have this, what could I use in place of that? I sure will give you a few ideas. We'll figure something out together. But even if you had 3 or 4 of these things, you could still make something for yourself out of it, okay? My stool's being wacky. There we go. Whew, antique stool. Okay, so we're doing some fun stuff. I have mortar and pestle out. I'm going to be grinding some dragon's blood and grinding an oyster shell. So first, I know not a lot of you have mandrake, but I'm using mandrake because I like to put a piece of William in all of the important spell work I do. Also, mandrake is poisonous, and this oil will be for anointing things, and it's not going to be for a personal oil to rub on yourself, okay? So I've got mandrake, I've got mugwort from my garden. Any form of mugwort would do. I've got sulfur. I've got black witch's salt, and if you don't know how to make that, you can check out a video. I've done up a video on black witch's salt. However, for this recipe you can use any kind of salt. You could even use Morton's table salt. I have eyebright. I have fresh picked mint, but you could have mint in any form. I have crossroads dirt. I have dragon's blood, and I have it in a couple forms. I have it in my mother rock, I have it in chunk form, and I have it powdered, and I'm just going to see how I feel during for what I want to use it for. I have saltpeter, and then I have DNA in the form of nail clippings and hair that I've pulled out of my widow's peak. That's what the tweezers were for. If you have dreads, I would really try and use one of your loose hairs and just pluck them out with tweezers. And if you want to know why, just ask. So I have that. You could use any form of DNA. I highly suggest that you could use your own DNA, like blood or menstrual blood. If you have any questions about menstrual blood, message me, but I don't want to go on and on about it because I know a lot of people don't like to use it. However, I will make a separate video as soon as I get the courage on menstrual blood and why it's so important, and I actually use it in almost all of my things. I just don't share that on YouTube with you guys. So please ask if you have any questions. I don't mind sharing. I get really nervous talking about it because I don't want to lose subscribers over it. And I don't want to lose, more than subscribers, friends. I don't want to lose friends over it. I know it's a controversial topic. So today my DNA I'm using in the form of nail clippings and fresh hair from the front of my head. Why do you want to pull it from the front of your head, you might ask? Because in a road opener oil, we're opening up the road ahead of us, and we want to use the hairs that are from the front of our head, where we're going, rather than something behind us. You could use the hairs behind you for a spell that was trying to close off old things, or a spell that was trying to, you know, wrap something up that's in the past, okay? And then I have oyster shells, but if you don't, and the reason I'm using the oyster shells in this is because it's something special that I got from a friend or a family member. So if you have something you've received from a friend or a family member that you can kind of crush up or just get into a bottle, use that. I'm using oyster shells. They're great for protection, but these were harvested by my family in the late 70s, early 80s during a family reunion on the beach. So I'm using this also to have a part of my ancestors in this bottle helping me open the road. So, and I have a piece of selenite on the table because, oh, and olive oil. Okay, that's going to be my base oil. It's what I use for almost all my anointing oils, because I try and save my lighter, higher quality organic oils for my skin, like my sunflower oil, my grapeseed oil, and my oh so precious sweet almond oil, okay? So this is an oil we're using for anointing. Remember, there's mandrake in it, so I use a thick oil I wouldn't want to use on my skin. Olive oil is great for that. Or any kind of vegetable oil, really. But I feel like olive oil has the best smell out of all the vegetable oils. That's just my personal opinion. So, and I also feel when I get it on my skin that there is some kind of good quality to it, you know, if I do get some on my skin. But you shouldn't, because there's mandrake in it, okay? And now around the bottle here, the other ingredient you'll need is a key that you personally have used to unlock a door, okay? Even if that means you have to go get a second key made for your front door and use your old one for this spell. You know what I'm saying? It costs a couple bucks, but you don't want to just use a key that's brand new. And in my opinion, you don't want to use a key that somebody else has used to open a door. That's really just my opinion. So, and then what I've done is I've tied it, and so that inside the bottle, I've hung it in there, so that when I go to stir this oil up, the key will stir up the oil, okay? It looks pretty when it does that. See? That'll be really fun, right? So, now I'm going to re-bless this with sage, but I've had this bottle itself in a couple of full moon lights. I put it out last night in the full moon, and after this I'm doing a war oil. I also charged that bottle in the full moon light. I'm just trying to get it really amped up for my spell. Okay. So, selenite's on the table because selenite just is a self-cleansing stone, and it just keeps cleansing the energy in the area to positive, clean, okay? So I like to keep that around while I'm working. And I will be lighting these with my candles. And then I will be, if you have a really skinny bottle, the sage isn't going to fit in the bottle, but this Palo Santo stick will. So I'm just lighting both of these, one on each of my fires. It's nice to have two fires, see? I like this space rock mix, it's cool. I do my symbol, Star of Creation, and all in love. So I get some symbols going. Cleanse your space, cleanse your area. Now cleanse your bottle. See how this stick fits all the way in? And when you have a bottle full of smoke, then you just want to let it sit and let the smoke come out naturally, which is really fun to watch, in my opinion. And you can just let these keep going. You don't have to like stomp them out, as long as they're in something safe, like your shell, okay? They won't catch each other on fire. They won't catch each other on fire. They won't catch each other on fire. Okay. And I mean, some people think, oh, I should trap the sage in. In my opinion, you just want it to naturally come out, you know? And you've already cleansed the outside of the bottle if you haven't saged the outside of that. So, we've got the bottle there. Everything's good. What should we add first? It's really up to preference and what you feel, you know? I feel like the first thing in the bottle today should be my mandrake root. And I like to pick pieces of that. If you guys don't know where to get mandrake root, ask me and I will let you know in the comments. Can't find my magical top. Oh, well, I use this. Hello, William. You're supposed to name your mandrake root. They want to be human. I have some under this glass head. And, they're really good at protecting your home. And you just put however much you feel. 3, 4. This piece is cool. And I usually work in 3s or 7s, so I put 7 pieces in there. And I'm adding mugwort. The mandrake root I'm helping because mandrake helps me with any spell, with any working. I have a personal connection to that mandrake root here, William. And when it's gone someday, it'll be heartbreaking and I'll keep a bit of it. But I have a personal relationship with William, both in meditation and on this plane as well. So I always ask him for help that way, and he's willing to give it to me as long as I feed him. Okay, and I'm putting in some mugwort from my garden. I'm going to put in 3 nice hardy sprigs of that. It's beautifully green. I kiss all my ingredients as I'm putting them in. Of course, not the poisonous ones, but and be enchanting in between, you know, putting your intention in between. Ask mugwort, help open my psychic abilities so that I can see the road ahead in the best way possible, in the clearest way possible. Mugwort, thank you for helping me. Thank you for opening the road for me, okay? In between each, and sit and spend time with it. You know, at the end of this, I'm going to spend loads of time, but for the sake of the video and time, you would be spending much more time in between, okay? Now I'll add my 3 sprigs of mint that I've chosen. And I've chosen some that have gone to seed at the top because it's gorgeous, okay? And there's a lot of fertility in that, and I want the road in the when it goes to seed at the top, and I want the road ahead of me to be fertile. And mint is great for money. Fertile in money. Money is just a thing, and I don't care much about it or much for it, but it is a tool to open roads, okay? So I'm adding in that for those reasons. My key is still able to freely move, and that's what I want. Now I think I'll add my my dragon's blood and my oyster shell, the two things that I have to crunch. And if you've never done crunched up an oyster shell before, get a molcajete, I think is what it's called. It's this. And it's made of lava stone. I have 2 of them. This is that family oyster shell. And look, it's just got these it's heavy though. Get one that has free shipping. Okay. And I'm gonna ask my family to be with me. And I'm really gonna think of that. It would be good to wear gloves and safety glasses. I'm not kidding. And I want to add in some big chunks. Seven chunks is what I did. So if this was just something that was gifted to you or something personal, which is what I said this ingredient was for, you could put anything in there. You could put anything in there. I wouldn't put fresh food in there, like a piece of chocolate or something, but you could put dried food. You could take fresh food and put it in the dehydrator, you know, but you could also add vitamin E oil to preserve anything fresh, okay? I don't have any of that. And if this is going to be a lot of oil, you know, I'm only going to fill it 3/4 of the way, and that's a lot of oil. So when I do workings for clients and stuff, that's why I'm making so much. You might only want to do a little jar, though. Or use a lot in your workings. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and crush up some dragon's blood. And again, I told you I had it in 3 forms. I have it in these little broken up pieces that are kind of ready to go into jars. I have it in an old vintage jar powdered. And then I have my mother rocks. And I'm going to take from this today. It's important to me that the road ahead of me is good. As some of you know that have been watching my channel for quite some time, or even a little bit of time, whew, the roads have been difficult. I need help. Road opener oil is also known as obstacle remover oil. Oh, dragon's blood. If you've never had a big chunk of dragon's blood resin, please get some today, and then you can thank me when you get it. It smells so good, so divine. Oh. Just the best natural high in the world to be smelling these resins. So here's what I've chosen. And I don't want to crush them up completely. I want us to actually see them in the oil. So really light tapping will give you chunks like that, okay? And it's sticky, it's a resin, but I like to rub it on myself. Oh! Woo, it smells good. And then I'm actually going to add some powder too, just so that it colors it and makes the oil smell really amazing. Thank you, Dragon's Blood. Loving this space rock. Psychedelic space rock. Okay, next let's put in some Crossroads dirt that I collected on May 27th. And there's my beautiful arts. Three little spoonfuls, you put however much you want. Eyebright. Really? Okay, so the Crossroads dirt. Okay, I didn't say what a few things were for. The Dragon's Blood heightens any spell, really, amps it up. The Crossroads dirt was, and this is just what I think it's for, because I've never really been explained what it's for. A crossroads is like a decision. When you come to this point in the road where you can go three ways, you have to make a choice, make a decision. That's why we're putting it in the road opener oil, is because the road ahead of us, we're making some decisions. The Eyebright I'm putting in because that helps heighten your psychic awareness, psychic abilities, the mugwort, right? Plus the mugwort is a part of my garden and my home. So I don't need a ton of Eyebright because I put in mugwort, and there's a lot it's hot, it's tingly above this now, like, there's a lot of good stuff going on in there. Eyebright will help amp it up. Now I feel that I need to put in sulfur. Sulfur powers and amps up any spell, really, but this recipe I'm doing, I've changed it up quite a bit, but it's mostly inspired by Lady Gravedancer, and sulfur is an ingredient that her family's been using for generations in witchcraft, and I've adopted as well because she's one of the people I look up to the most. And I found that it does amazing things in spell work. Like, really make spells work quickly. When I started adding it into my spell work, my spells were working more quickly. How about that? Does that make sense? And then saltpeter is another one that I got from Lady Gravedancer, but we're not just there yet. One I've added to my cabinet because of Lady Gravedancer. Salt is for protection and purification, right? And I'm using Black Witch's salt. Black Witch's salt in this case has Dragon's Blood, black charcoal, Moonblessed white Morton's table salt, possibly black pepper, but I don't think so, and ash. That's what I've had in this bottle of Black Witch's salt here. And again, in between each one, you're putting your intention over that. You're sitting there with it for as long as it needs until you feel that you're ready to move on to the next ingredient. And a lot of times I use music to charge my spells and to charge my ingredients because it empowers me so much. Black salt help protect this road opener oil, help purify my way and protect me along the way. You know, say something like that. with each ingredient. The next one, saltpeter, help amp up this spell so every ingredient in it is more powerful. Okay, so let's get that in there. Now saltpeter, you can do this. Well, I don't know why it's not doing it right now. It'll make a flame go and like crack and sparkle. Anyway, this is what it really is called. Whoa! A lot jumped in. I guess it needed it. Okay. Now I've got the hairs that I've plucked from the front of my widow's peak, my head right there. Fresh hairs that I plucked right before this. And then you could add your blood, your menstrual blood, or your fingernails. I'm adding fingernails. Clippings. Fingernail clippings. I'm adding 10 because I want it to be representative of every single one of my fingers in front of me, helping me along the way. Okay. This is DNA I have saved in oil, and that's all I'm going to say. Okay. I'm going to talk to this and try and do a little enchantment with you guys so you can get an idea of what you might say. You should say whatever you feel in your heart at the time, because that's your intuition talking to you, okay? I'm going to put some rose water on my hands. I don't know why. Did you hear me when I said I'm putting rose water on my hands and I don't know why? It's just my intuition, and so I'm doing it. I'm listening. Okay. Sit here and ask all of these ingredients to open your way, give you good things ahead. You get the idea. We've cut off for time on the video, so if you have any questions, just message me below. Subscribe if you like my content. Come back and join me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. We'll be making a war oil next with some spider webs from some spiders that were fighting outside my window yesterday on the full moon, okay? So many exciting things. Come back and join me.